everyone, welcome back to CFP Exam Advice. In the last video, I talked about my path to exam day and the time commitment it took to get there. I mentioned that I didn't do a review course and that I self-studied for 6 months before taking the education courses. In this video, I'll share the resources I found most helpful to study for the exam and learn the materials. Let's get started. My best piece of advice is to do as many practice problems as possible. You'll really want to diversify the kinds of questions you're seeing. Each education course has their own style and difficulty level. If you're just answering questions from Kaplan, for example, then you're only learning one type of question. There are lots of free resources available for practice questions. They can be hard to find. Here's a list of the resources I've found that are available online. I'll walk through each of these in this video. On the CFP board website, go to this study group forum and find direct questions from former exams. I'll put the link to this below. These are the closest you will get to the real exam. Keep an eye out for anything posted by Rebecca Horsting. You'll have to log in to view this page to make sure you have a CFP board account. Once you log in, make sure you're on the CFP board study group forum. These questions are directly from former exams. You'll see other people commenting their thought process, and as you keep scrolling, you'll find Rebecca's official explanation and the real answer. These are honestly golden nuggets. In addition to the practice exam, this is the most true to the exam experience that you're going to get. You'll have to keep scrolling through to see all of them as they go back a long ways. The next resource I used heavily was Quizlet. I found these particularly helpful. I didn't make any of these myself, but I just didn't want to make my own flashcards, and these were available. I particularly like this matching game. It works substantially better on the app, so here it kind of overlays it and it's hard to understand. But if you get the app, you can do some every day. They do a good job of shuffling the questions pretty well. Sometimes this matching game, the answer's a little too obvious and you're kind of on autopilot, but I'm a believer that getting more familiar with the topics and having exposure with the topics in the questions is helpful in itself. Next tip is on practice exams administered through education providers. Typically, you have to pay for these, and Dalton requires that you enter all your information in before taking their practice exam, but I found a workaround. If you go into the search bar and type daltonreview.com/demo, I'll put that link below as well, then you get access to the full question bank. They say here that there are 2,000 multiple choice exam questions. You can take the quiz and see that there are 60 questions in each exam. This will typically take me, it takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours, so 60 questions is a lot. I'm a little skeptical if there are actually 2,000. I saw a lot of repeats, but you can see that they all start off differently, so you at least gets lots of exposure, and it's a lot of free questions available that you can get practice questions on. While I'll admit that the questions are a little weaker on these, and most of them you have to pay, it can be good to set a reminder on your phone and do a daily question or two. Consistency is key here. This first one, CFP Genius, gives 80 free questions in one version, and if you pay for it, you can get additional questions. The next, Finance Study Prep, you get a quick 10 quiz every day and a question of the day. It repeats a lot of the questions, but at the same time, it's good to get all that repetition in. This last one is a podcast called BIF Review. It hosts a pretty good session each week. They don't have a lot of material or episodes out yet, but I'm sure if you follow along that they'll be producing more things. Overall, there are plenty of resources available to get your reps in. If you have any resources that you found useful, comment them below. Don't forget to subscribe to this video, and we'll catch you next time.